So, everybody's wondering how many miles are on this truck. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Walk. We're going to do an update on the CJ7 that you guys have seen in the last couple of weeks. We have nicknamed that Jeep Burger King because we are building it the way the customer wants, exactly to his specifications. Alex has made some really good headway on it, and so is the body shop. Then after that, I'm going to show you a killer K5 BLAZER. I like low mileage stuff, and I really like low mileage trucks, and I particularly love to see ones that people treated with kid gloves from day one, like it was a Ferrari or a Corvette. So come on back, let's see what's going on. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
How are you?
Pretty good, how are you?
Outstanding. So last time we talked and we showed this chassis and where Alex was on this, it was mocked up. And we explained to you what a mock-up is he wanted to see all the positions where everything went.
Yep.
And then you blew it completely back apart, back to the bare frame, right?
Right.
All right, show some of the cool stuff you've done as far as motor mounts, transmission mounts, the hand fab stuff that you actually made.
So last time he said the motor and tranny were just mocked up. I had the position for the motor mount, but I didn't like the transmission mount. So I went ahead and remade that. Transmission that's where it's gonna live. Then went ahead and just reran the fuel lines, fuel tank, brake lines, power steering lines, just finalized everything. And just in time because the body shop actually just got done with the body.
Well, they're at the point where it can come back on here.
Right.
So it actually, that rarely happens.
Yeah.
When we're doing builds in here, we try to get the chassis and the bodies done within the same day or two because the body needs to come on for the final paint.
Right.
Now, Alex is a killer welder, killer welder, killer welder. His welds on here are beautiful. The motor mount welds, I looked at them, look fantastic. I want you guys to see that. But what size square tubing did you use to make the transmission mount?
2-inch square tubing. I can't remember the thickness, but it's thick. It's heavy duty.
It's crazy thick. You guys got to see it. It is a work of art. He did a great job. We'll lift this up. I mean, this transmission is not going anywhere. It's way stronger than what the factory would have been.
Yep.
Really, really clean look too. I like what you did with that. So you've got the fuel lines run, brake lines run.
Yep, fuel pump's already hooked up. Just got everything finalized so when the body comes on, I don't have to mess with anything under the body. I don't have to scratch anything like that. So as soon as it goes on, it's done.
Beautiful. So you got intake fuel pump. No, your fuel pump's over here on the ramp.
Yep.
All right. Outstanding. Man, it looks good. This is so clean. This is nicer than they looked when they left the factory. So we're excited to see this thing come along. I'm really excited to see how this transmission feels in a CJ.
Yeah.
I know you said it's just a crazy strong transmission. It's a Tremec 5-speed. Now for these guys that are putting these big horsepower in these Jeeps, T5s probably won't hold up.
Nope.
So let's go see what's going on in the body shop. So you've been back there, you know what's going on with it. Now again, the color of this Jeep is, I believe it's 9B Olympic white. That's what the customer specified.
Okay.
And it's in the booth right now. Bam! I love going in the booth when I haven't seen what's fresh paint. So cool.
Thank you.
Age before beauty. So the customer wanted the center section of this spray line in the color of the Jeep, which is Olympic white, but he wanted the wheelhouses painted. So that's what we did. Now you see this in here? That is how the factory seam sealed them. Every seam seal on here, before we actually seal this, he used a white sealer, so that it doesn't bleed out.
Right.
And then put the Olympic white on top. Now look at the firewall. I mean, our painter is just an absolute artist. They've never looked this good from the factory.
Never.
So Alex has been chasing a bunch of CJs lately too and going on a whole lot of buys by himself. So I think he's pretty much almost a CJ expert. Down here, from the factory below the battery box, they always had very little paint.
Yeah,
just like the floors, just looked terrible. So our firewall is show quality like the rest of the Jeep will be. And then before we put the trim tag on here, which this is a trim tag because it's a later model CJ, up to 76 to 80s, that's actually your VIN tag and your trim tag. We put a heavy primer underneath this where we put the tag on so it don't rust. Because for the factory they didn't, so they bleed out. But this thing just looks fantastic. So you're right, it's ready to go on the chassis.
Yep.
So all you got to do is finish the gears in the rear end today, get the axles in it, get it on the ground. This is ready to go on.
Yep.
So we do not like to paint the bodies off of the Jeeps. We want them on the chassis, all the body mounts there, panel gaps done in the doors, perfect fitment before we do any more paint work. So that's where we're at on this. Now, let's go check out that K5 Blazer. Have you had time to look at it?
Yeah, I did a little bit.
All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you and everybody else out there the paperwork. A lot of times when you have a rare car, rare muscle car, whatever the guy took care of, he took care of it from day one. And the paperwork this guy has on this is like it was a 69 Z28 with a cross arm. He wanted to prove what it was. Come check this out. This is amazing. The original order sheet dealer copy when they punch the order.
Oh, that's
in.
cool.
Very cool. The original window sticker that he sealed when it was new. Original build sheet.
Wow.
So this is Saratoga silver with Firethorn red interior with plaid. Incredibly cool. Kept the little thing that hung off the hazard. I mean, stuff like this is just so awesome. Battery warranty, tire warranty, 78 warranty information, maintenance schedule, and the original owner's manual. And look how nice this stuff is.
Yeah.
So the story on this was, a guy called me and said, hey, I watched your video on the K5 y'all unearthed in Montana.
Yep, the yellow one.
Yep, so that Sean went up and got with me.
Yeah.
He said, I've got a Blazer that I think was taken care of as well as that one, or maybe better, because this one was never down on its knees and was always running. So the story was, this guy was a caretaker of this man's estate, and this was one of his favorite things. He said, even when we didn't drive it for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, we changed the oil in this thing every single year from 1978. So I've known this truck from brand new, never driven in inclement weather, ever. Now when it came in, it did have mud flaps on it, which was cool because there was no rock chips underneath it, no rust, no nothing. But gotta check this thing out. Here's one of the coolest things I like about this truck. Special ordered 400 small block.
Cool.
So when was the last time you saw one of those?
I actually haven't.
Never seen one? So in high school, my brothers and I had a 1978 Scottsdale, which was the base model truck with a rubber mat. You know me, I like base model stuff. Drives my guys crazy because all the trucks I buy, the Ram trucks, I order with zero options except for ambulance chassis, big gas tanks.
Yep.
So anyways, this is a 400 small block. These things run great. They are super, super tough. Original motor, never been out of it. Power steering, power brakes, AC. Such a great engine and rare to see in one of these. Check out the interior of this. Absolutely stunning. Now we've named this Blazer Snowball. We'll get back to that in a minute. Firethorn red interior, which is just killer with silver.
So cool.
It's like, you know, a Goldwing Mercedes, the best color combo is silver with red.
Yep.
I think. Interior is absolutely stunning. It's also got, let's see what other options it's got. Bumper guards, front and rear. Very cool. It is tilt. Trailer package, which is actually on the build sheet, because I read the build sheet pretty close. AM/FM radio and cruise control. So everybody's wondering how many miles are on this truck.
Yep.
29,000 actual miles. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, when we got this in here, Alex and Josh worked on this for a couple days and did a full detail on it. It looked beautiful, but it drove me nuts. The passenger side door and quarter panel had been painted, and the color match wasn't very good. Yeah. So I sent it back to the body shop, and here's why it was a snowball. And we have a little bit of footage of this. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 days. I want you to take all the trim off and blend this side and make it match. So after 7 spray outs, we couldn't get the color even close. We had our paint supplier come out. Yeah. He tried 5, couldn't get it close. And then just so happens while we're messing with this, Mike McCullough from Barrick Jackson, we all call him Muscle Car Mike, walked in, came back and looked at that, and he literally started laughing. I was like, what is so funny? He goes, is that Saratoga silver? I'm like, yep. He goes, you'll never match it. I said, what do you mean? He goes, we've tried it twice. It will not match. So, okay, cool. We come up to the front fender. Well, in order to take this badge off and this badge off, guess what you had to do? Which Alex knows this, you got to take the hood off and the hood hinge. Now, on the internet, it says with a special tool, you can get to it after you do that. Well, you can't. We got every special tool on the planet. So, what do we have to do then? Take the front bumper off and this fender off. Well, heck, we've got the door panels off, the whole interior's out, and the hardtop's off. We're already there.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there talking to Mike. He goes, the other problem is, Dennis, if you paint this whole side, the way they painted these things at Chevrolet, because he studied this stuff really hard, he's meticulous on some of his restorations, he goes, you'll never get the paint to flow like the hood. It won't match. He goes, every time I've messed with this color, Saratoga Silver in 78, we've never got it to match. You're gonna have to paint the whole truck. I'm like, oh no. So my 2 days turned into 2 solid weeks. Now, it turned out absolutely fantastic. The other weird thing is, and you know, because we had the paint guys here,
Yeah.
the paint code for this truck and the paint code for 79 are the same, but they have different names. The 79, I think, is Winchester Gray. Well, whenever you mix the color, no matter who you use, it comes out to Winchester Gray, and it never comes out to Saratoga Silver. So anyways, that was a snowball train wreck. Instead of 2 days, we've got over 100 hours in this, but it is absolutely beautiful.
It's cool.
Another thing that came out of the booth, this was a 1 color code truck. They started putting it back together. I said, stop. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. Y'all did phenomenal work. Don't put it back together. So they went back and said, well, what's bothering you? I said, it needs to be two-tone.
Yep.
So it needed to have white, which means we had to color change the top to white, or maybe do Firethorn red. So what the guys in the back did, which was really cool, is they took our paper that we normally tape with, painted one red, and then we put one white. And I was like, man, I just don't like that. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is I don't really like to do anything that's non-factory, because everybody's like, wow,
Oh, yeah.
you know, this truck is 100% original, and you're going to change something. So what I did was, we took the most expensive vinyl there is, period, and this is vinyl. And it looks like paint, and it's perfect. So if there's a purist out there that ends up with this truck and just has to have it back to gray, we went ahead and color sanded and buffed, and it is perfect underneath. And this vinyl was not cut on the truck, so there's no cut lines. This is some of the nicest trim I've ever seen on one of these. I mean, it's almost perfect.
Nice original trip.
Look at I mean, it's just fantastic.
Not even bent anywhere or dented.
I mean, the truck was just so nice. I mean, look at the interior of this thing, Alex. It's crazy. The only really modification I see on it is it's got 6x9 speakers here in the back.
Yep.
And they put a radio in it, but the radio's in the console. Now here's a mystery, and tell me how they did this. You can turn the radio in the console or in the dash.
Yep. I found
I don't
that
even know how
out.
that's possible. And it'll play.
Yep.
Very weird. So there you have it. I think one of the most stunning 78 K5 Blazers in existence. Oh, here's what else we did to it. When Alex was servicing it, this had the original spiral shocks still on it. They needed to be, we kept them because that's a huge collector's item. And it had 31 1050 15s on it, which I believe is what they came from the factory with. Totally dry rotted, but these things look stupid with that small of a tire. Mm-hmm. So what did we do? We went to my favorite tire, of course, and put the 33 1250 15 BFG all trays. It just really set it
makes
off,
the
didn't
truck.
it? Yeah, I think it makes the truck too. So there you have it. Update on Burger King and Snowball. Please like, tag, share, and follow. And during the holidays, you guys got some extra time. Kelsey has spent a tremendous amount of time organizing all these segments on YouTube. Right there. Go to our YouTube channel. Y'all have a great day.